Alright guys, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to put this shoe in like a throwback Thursday or something of that sort of video, because these are a pretty old shoe. They definitely came out over a year ago at this point. And for those of you guys who don't know Patta and the Patta Air Max line, that was literally one of the most hyped shoes that dropped in 2022, and there was numerous colorways. There was a blue one, an orange one. Those were the first two that dropped. And then there was a dark maroon, a white one, as well as this one that we have in hand today. These are the Patta Air Max 1 Monarch colorway. And these were kind of like the red-headed stepchild of the Air Max 1 Patta line. This was like that one shoe that was not really hyped up, even though the other colorways were extremely sought after. I think that makes sense based on how these look. They are not as vibrant as the other pairs, but they are still an extremely clean pair that would go great with shirts like this and just overall black and dark aesthetic. So before we jump into the shoe itself, as usual, we're going to go over the box. And this box, there's actually going to be a lot to cover. So I'm going to start on the side of the box on this one, because there's actually a sentence. It says Patta got, and then if you turn it around, it says love for all. So Patta got love for all, and then it says Patta in orange and Nike in blue, and then it says familiar here on the corner right there. It says familiar in a silver font. Over here it says Libi Liba, I think, or Lubi Libi, which means live and love in Suriname, which is actually the cultural background for Patta. I'm gonna get into that in just 1 minute. It's actually fascinating. But and then on this side here we have Patta in silver, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, it says get familiar, I forgot to mention. Oh, and then also the size tag as well, right there, and then Nike Patta. These are size 9 men's. So jumping over to the shoe itself. Actually, before we do that, let me talk a little bit about the culture of this shoe. So Patta, the name Patta actually means sneaker in the Suriname culture. It's kind of like how zapato means sneaker in Spanish. It's the same kind of deal. Suriname culture has Patta as the word sneaker, and that is why these are called the Patta shoes, which makes sense. Suriname, I actually looked it up, is a 24-hour flight from New York airport, which is absolutely insane. I mean, I've never even seen any place with that amount of length between me and the place. That would be a crazy flight, and I'm sure an even crazier experience. But that is pretty much the backstory of the shoe. And there are more Suriname details which we will get into in a second. If I'm butchering that name, I do apologize. So now let's jump into the shoe itself. On the lateral side, from a glance, these might actually look pretty similar to the other Patta Air Maxes, like the blue and the orange ones and all those. But there are some distinctive details. So you got a very interesting material going on the front of this shoe. It's like a black slimy nylon, I want to say. It's a very weird material that I've never really seen. It kind of reminds me of a CD, and it does fingerprint very easily. Then in the midfoot section we kind of have like just a regular leather, and then on the back you got that same leather, and then it meshes together with like that same nylon again. This white right here is a similar leather to the black, and that white definitely saves the contrast of the upper of the shoe from being too plain. Then you got that classic tiny Nike swoosh on the toe box, which is signature for Patta, and other Nike Air Max collabs as well, like the Sean Witherspoons. The midsole is a cream slash white midsole. You got white lacelets here, black laces. On the front you got like a gray mesh, which is probably the most similar detail to the other Patta Air Maxes, but besides that they are extremely different from the first two Patta Air Maxes. On the bottom we got white and black outsole, kind of like an Oreo thing going on. And then the air bubble is just a clear air bubble. On the back you got Nike Air in a classic font. And besides that, that is pretty much the major details of the shoe over and done with. Flipping over to the other shoe as well. Same exact deal, really nothing different, except that these actually have a pair of cream laces on the shoe, which is really cool. It does say Patta and Patta Air Max rather on the tongue on both shoes. As you can see right here, they both say Patta Nike right there. And they do also come with a few goodies in the box. So this bag comes in the box. It does say Patta Air Max on it. And within the bag you have this very fragile plastic bag that has a hang tag that says Patta, as well as the Suriname flag and an Air Max logo, I believe. Let me check real quick. Or just a Nike swoosh rather. So Patta, the flag of Suriname, and a Nike check in there. That's like kind of like a dog tag for the shoe that you can put into the lacelet right here, and that would probably be pretty cool to look at. So that's a cool detail for sure. And the more I look at these, the more they kind of grow on me. They are an older shoe. They've been around the block for sure. Very hyped collab, not a hyped colorway though. And yeah, they're going for around $320 on the aftermarket. Definitely affordable. The retail was high, so there's no sort of crazy profit to be made on these as of like right now. They might go up in the future, but I doubt it anytime soon. Personally, you guys can say your opinions down below. I've always kind of wanted the Patta Air Max in the white colorway or the blue colorway, but these are not mine, but they are definitely pretty clean. With that being said, yeah, I'm probably just gonna end it off there. Probably a shorter video, just going over like the box and whatnot. But if you enjoyed, leave a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.